There are stories older than time itself, hidden in the whispers of the wind, carved in the stones of forgotten kingdoms. Tales of gods and mortals, of love and war, of wisdom and power. These are the echoes of our ancestors, the truths buried beneath the sands of history. Listen closely, for the past is not lost. It lives, waiting to be unveiled. Among these legends stands one of the greatest of them all, a king of wisdom, a queen of mystery, a meeting that shaped the ages, and so the winds whisper their names once more. Solomon, the wise king, and Sheba, the queen of the sun-kissed lands. Their fates intertwined, their story etched in the stars. Listen now, and step into the legend.
The Tale of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. In the land of Israel, in a time when the winds whispered secrets of old and the rivers sang songs of wisdom, there was a child born under the great shining star. His name was Solomon. A child of promise, of mystery, and of prophecy. He would be the ruler of a kingdom rich in gold and wisdom, a kingdom destined to shape the hearts of men. His father, the mighty King David, was a warrior whose battles shook the earth. But it was his mother, Bathsheba, who shaped the heart of the boy who would grow to rule with both wisdom and strength. In the beginning, Solomon's life was one of peace and grace. He was born beneath the great moon, a light so pure that it touched the hearts of all who saw him. His days were spent with his mother Bathsheba, who spoke to him in the language of wisdom, teaching him of the sun, the stars, the earth, and the spirit that flows through all things. His father, King David, would tell him tales of their ancestors, ancient kings and queens whose names echoed in the winds. But not all was smooth, for even the sun must face the shadow. There was always conflict, for Solomon's path would be that of a ruler, one whose wisdom would be tested and whose heart would be torn between duty and desire. And so it was that Solomon grew in mind and spirit. As he learned from the elders, his soul thirsted for knowledge like the earth thirsts for rain. He listened to the tales of the wise men and women, heard the ancient songs of his people, and memorized the scrolls of the ancestors. He spoke the words of power, for he was taught that true wisdom comes from understanding the deep currents that flow through life. But his heart was still uncertain. For all the books he read and all the wisdom he gathered, there was a question in him. What is true wisdom, and where can it be found? Then came the day when the winds spoke of a queen from the land of the sun-kissed deserts, the land where the river Nile flows like the lifeblood of the earth. Her name was Sheba. She was a queen of great wisdom and even greater beauty, a woman whose presence could silence the thunder and whose gaze could melt the hardest stone. The gods themselves had blessed her with knowledge that could challenge even the mighty Solomon. And so she came, with her royal procession, crossing the lands to meet the king. Her caravan of camels, laden with treasures, stretched across the horizon, and her beauty, her beauty, was like the dawn that breaks the night. When she entered the court of King Solomon, it was as if the earth itself held its breath. Solomon looked upon her, and in that moment, the world seemed to stop. Her eyes, dark as the deepest night, met his, and Solomon felt his heart stir in a way it had never known. She was not just a queen. She was the embodiment of everything he had longed for: beauty, wisdom, and strength. And she, Sheba, looked upon Solomon not with the eyes of a mere ruler, but with the gaze of someone who saw beyond kingship. She saw the spirit of a man torn between his wisdom and his longing. Their gazes locked, and in that moment, the air between them hummed with a silent understanding, one that neither would dare speak aloud. This woman, this queen, is like none I have ever seen. Her beauty is like the desert flower, rare, yet with a power that commands all who look upon her. But more than that, she carries wisdom that mirrors my own. What are we to each other? A king and a queen, or something more? As the days passed, Solomon found himself lost in thought. He was no longer just the wise king of Israel, the ruler of men. He was a man who had tasted a glimpse of something deeper, something beyond reason. His heart beat faster when Sheba's presence filled the room. Her voice, rich and deep like the rhythms of the earth, swirled in his mind long after she had spoken. Is this wisdom? To feel so drawn to her, to want to hear her every word, to look upon her as if she holds the answers to the questions buried deep within me? But I am the king, and a king must not let his heart rule over his mind. I must remain wise. Yet when Sheba spoke, her words echoed within him like the murmur of an ancient river, a river that had been flowing long before Solomon was born, long before any king or queen had ever ruled. On the final night of her visit, Sheba challenged Solomon. She asked him questions of the earth and the heavens, of the mysteries of life, of the forces that governed the stars and the souls of men. Solomon answered each question, his words flowing like the river, his wisdom unshaken. But as he spoke, he felt something more, an awareness that his wisdom was not complete. The queen's challenges had sparked a fire within him, one that he could not extinguish. Was wisdom enough? Or was there something else, something more powerful than knowledge alone? The Queen of Sheba, having tested Solomon's wisdom and finding it greater than she had imagined, prepared to leave. She had come expecting to meet a king, yet she had found a man whose mind and heart both sought the truth of the world. And Solomon, as he watched her depart, felt a deep sadness, as if a part of him was leaving with her. She is the sun, and I, the moon. We may shine in the same sky, but we will never touch. And yet the light of her wisdom will guide me, as it will guide all who seek truth. Though she is gone, she remains within me, a lesson in wisdom, in beauty, in longing. And so, Solomon ruled wisely for many years, his reign a testament to the wisdom of the ages. But always, in the quiet of his chambers, when the night was still and the stars filled the sky, he would remember the Queen of Sheba. He would remember her beauty, her wisdom, and the way she had made him see the world with new eyes. He would never forget her, because in some ways she had given him the greatest wisdom of all, the understanding that even the wisest of kings must remain humble before the mysteries of the heart.